so you're going back to the '80s and stuff. So obviously you've been around for a little while. Um, in Russia, how did you get your music back in the '80s? How did you get your influences? I mean, it wasn't there was no internet back then, unless you. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there was, but uh, you know how you know how countries are ahead of each other
Yeah.
in technology and stuff. It's like the Russian and USA space race. I mean, they were ahead. You guys were ahead, and then we were ahead, and back and forth seesaw. How did you get your music back in the day?
Back in the 80s, most of that music from the West was banned in the Soviet Union. I mean, even bands like Kiss and Scorpions and Led Zeppelin, they were banned. They were considered like Sex Pistols too. They were considered capitalist music. But in the 80s, there were several flea markets where you could buy LPs, and one LP used to cost an average person's salary. I remember telling my dad, "Hey, can you buy me this rigor mortis LP?" And he says, "Are you crazy? It's my entire salary, man." So it cost 100 rubles, which was an engineer's salary at the time.
Holy shit!
But anyway, we kind of just everybody paid their share. I mean, as much as you could. I pay 10 rubles, you pay 20 rubles, I pay 5 rubles. So we could buy one LP, and then we would trade it for something else just to listen to, or just, to exchange it for. My first LP was DRI Crossover, and I had to sell some stupid hard rock band from Yugoslavia to get it. So I was introduced to crossover right away. It was called hardcore at that time. I mean, we perceived thrash metal and hardcore and crossover is the same thing. I mean, it was called thrash metal or hardcore sometimes. So my first LP was DRI, and that was very precious to me. Then I got my Rumble Militia, SOD, obviously, and it just started growing from there. I had to work a lot to get those LPs. One time I used to work for a month as a book salesman to get a CD for $20. So that was Soviet era, music collection. We also had tape trading and stuff. I mean, a lot of bands were exchanging tapes between each other across the country. So I think it was like everywhere else. Yeah, and Moscow was the epicenter of all the music. I mean, you would go to Moscow, go to the flea market, and you'd be like, wow, what's this, what's that? And I heard the Toidles on the Moscow flea market. I was checking out some metal stuff. I think I was buying a D-side hat. And there was something playing in the background. I was like, wow, what was that? So I rushed to that kiosk or stalls, whatever, and I go, what's that band? And I go, this Toidles, man. That's it. I was sold, man. In that style, we only heard One More Death at that time, and the Toidles was really a discovery for everybody. So I think I brought the Toidles to my region.